Lucifer stood atop the radiant spires of heaven, his wings shimmering with a beauty that rivaled the sun. His voice, rich and melodic, led the celestial choir in praise of the Creator. Yet, deep within his heart, a flicker of doubt began to stir. As he gazed at the splendor around him, the seed of pride took root. "Why must we eternally serve?" he whispered, though no one heard. But the thought, like a shadow, lingered. It was the first moment heaven felt the tremor of rebellion, though none yet knew it. Lucifer's pride grew, fueled by his unmatched beauty and intellect. The angels adored him, but their adoration only fanned the flames of his arrogance. One fateful day, while gazing into the eternal mirror, he saw not the reflection of a servant, but the visage of a king. "I am the morning star," he declared to his reflection, the words leaving his lips unbidden. The mirror shimmered ominously, as though it had heard a forbidden truth. The angels began to notice a change in Lucifer. His light, once pure, now carried a strange hue, a dangerous allure. He spoke to his closest followers in hushed tones, his words dripping with seduction. "Why must we bow when we are so powerful?" he asked. "Why should we not rise?" One by one, angels were drawn to his cause. The faint rustle of their wings as they gathered felt like an unnatural wind, spreading unease. Michael, the archangel of war, summoned the host to a great council. The air buzzed with tension as the angels assembled. "Something stirs among us," Michael said, his piercing gaze searching for answers. "A darkness taints our light." Lucifer sat silently, his eyes gleaming with defiance. "You know nothing of darkness," he thought. One fateful night, a blazing comet streaked across heaven's skies, its fiery tail cutting through the celestial expanse. The angels watched in awe, but Lucifer saw it as a sign, a herald of change. He whispered. The comet's light reflected in his eyes, making them appear as molten gold. Yet, in its wake, a faint trail of shadow remained, unsettling the onlookers. His beauty replaced by horror, his pride shattered, but his ambition burning still. Lucifer's followers, now numbering in the hundreds, began to congregate in secret, their once pure light dimmed, flickering with an unsettling hue. In the hidden recesses of heaven, they whispered of freedom, power, and a new order. "We are not mere servants," Lucifer proclaimed to the gathering. "We are creators, destined to shape our own path." His words resonated, igniting a dangerous fire in their hearts. Deep within heaven, Lucifer and his allies discovered the Celestial Forge, a place where divine power was crafted. Here, he began to shape weapons of unimaginable might. As the forge's flames danced, shadows grew, and an eerie silence fell over the realm. Michael sensed the disturbance and sought answers. "Something stirs in the heart of heaven," he warned the host. "We must be vigilant." The Creator appeared to Michael in a dream, showing a vision of heaven consumed by fire. In the vision, a single angel's shadow loomed over the chaos. Michael awoke with a start, his resolve steeled. "Lucifer," he whispered, knowing now the source of the unrest. "This must end." Michael confronted Lucifer beneath the silver arch. The tension was palpable as their opposing forces stood on either side, wings spread wide. "Turn back, brother," Michael implored. "There is no victory in defiance." Lucifer's laughter echoed. "Victory is not given, Michael. It is taken." Without warning, Lucifer unleashed the first strike, a bolt of dark energy that cracked the silver arch. The host erupted into chaos as the battle began. The clash of angelic swords rang out, each blow reverberating through the heavens. One by one, the rebellious angels revealed their allegiance, their light dimming as they joined Lucifer's ranks. The once unified host of heaven was fractured, its harmony shattered. As the battle raged, the ground beneath heaven quaked. A chasm opened, black and endless, threatening to consume everything. Lucifer's laughter grew darker as he claimed it as his domain. "If heaven will not have me," he declared, "I will build my own kingdom." Michael's forces regrouped, forging chains of celestial light to bind the rebels. With great effort, they captured several of Lucifer's lieutenants, imprisoning them in orbs of unbreakable light. A haunting melody spread through heaven, sung by the angels who mourned their fallen brethren. The song carried with it the weight of loss and the hope of redemption. The battle reached its crescendo as Michael and Lucifer faced each other once more. Their clash sent shockwaves through heaven, the sheer force threatening to unravel the very fabric of the realm. Michael's sword, the blade of light, shattered in his hands as he struck a final blow. The fragments scattered, but the strike was enough to weaken Lucifer. The Creator's voice thundered through heaven, silencing the chaos. Lucifer, you have chosen your path. You are cast out, banished from this sacred place. Lucifer's screams echoed as he fell into the abyss, his wings burning to ash. The rebellious angels followed, their cries filling the void. In the darkness, Lucifer's form twisted and changed. His beauty was replaced by a terrible visage, and his light became a consuming fire. Lucifer claimed the abyss as his kingdom, naming it hell. He forged a throne of fire and shadow, declaring himself its ruler. "I am no longer the morning star," he proclaimed. "I am Satan." From his own essence, Satan created the first demon, a creature of malice and cunning. This being became his lieutenant, tasked with building an army. Satan forged the infernal gates, a portal that connected hell to the mortal realm. Through it, he sought to spread his influence and corrupt the Creator's works. Satan's whispers reached the mortal realm, planting seeds of doubt and sin. Humanity's innocence was shattered as they fell to temptation. A group of angels, known as the Watchers, descended to the mortal realm to guide and protect humanity. But some among them were swayed by Satan's influence. The fallen Watchers joined Satan, their light extinguished. They became his generals, leading legions of demons in his war against heaven. Michael and the host of heaven crafted a shield of divine energy to protect the mortal realm. This barrier limited Satan's power, but could not stop his insidious whispers. A prophecy emerged, foretelling a champion who would rise to challenge Satan and restore balance to the realms. Satan, hearing of this, vowed to destroy the chosen one before they could fulfill their destiny. The battle between heaven and hell raged on, each side gaining and losing ground. The mortal realm became a battleground, its inhabitants caught in the crossfire. Some of the fallen began to question their choices, their hearts heavy with regret. They sought redemption, but Satan's grip on them was unyielding. In the final chapter, the champion emerged, wielding the fragments of Michael's shattered blade. With their courage and faith, they struck a decisive blow, sealing Satan and his forces deep within hell. The realms began to heal, and the light of hope was rekindled. Though Lucifer had fallen, his story became a cautionary tale, a reminder of the dangers of pride and the enduring power of redemption. The story of the fall of Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden is a testament to Satan's cunning and his desire to undermine the Creator's plan. The eternal conflict. The story of Lucifer's fall is not merely a tale of past events, but an ongoing conflict. The forces of good and evil continue to battle for the souls of humanity. Heaven's angels and Satan's demons wage an eternal war, with the mortal realm often caught in the crossfire. Yet, amidst this struggle, the Creator's love and mercy remain a guiding light for those who seek redemption. The power of redemption. While the fall of Lucifer serves as a warning against pride and rebellion, it also highlights the Creator's unwavering commitment to justice and mercy. Even in the darkest moments, there is hope for redemption. The prophecy of a champion who will rise to challenge Satan and restore balance serves as a beacon of hope for all who seek to align themselves with the Creator's will. Lessons to learn. 1. The dangers of pride. Lucifer's downfall began with pride. This story reminds us to remain humble and to recognize our place within the Creator's plan. 2. The consequences of rebellion. Defiance against divine order leads to destruction and separation from the Creator's light. 3. The importance of unity. The division caused by Lucifer's rebellion serves as a reminder of the strength found in unity and harmony. 4. The hope of redemption. No matter how far we may fall, the Creator's love offers a path to redemption for those who seek it sincerely. This lesson on the fall of Lucifer is not just a story, but a call to reflect on our own lives. Are there areas where pride, rebellion, or doubt have taken root? Are we aligning ourselves with the Creator's will? Or are we succumbing to the whispers of temptation? Let this story inspire us to remain steadfast in our faith and to seek the light of redemption. Lucifer, once the brightest of all the archangels, was a being of unparalleled beauty and charisma. His wings, once radiant with the light of heaven, now shimmered faintly, tainted with the darkness of his fall. His eyes, once mirrors of divine wisdom, burned like molten gold, brimming with wrath and pride. Though his splendor had been marred, his presence was no less commanding, a terrifying fusion of angelic grace and infernal power. Banished from the celestial realms, Lucifer harbored an undying hatred for his creator and a deep-seated jealousy toward the newly formed beings, Adam and Eve. Created in God's image, they were given dominion over Eden, a place of perfection and unspoiled beauty. It was a garden brimming with life, where rivers sparkled like liquid crystal, and trees bore fruit that glowed like jewels. Lucifer's purpose, once to lead the choirs of heaven in praise, had curdled into a singular obsession, to corrupt what God had declared good. His mind churned with plans, his resolve hardened by a bitterness that fueled his every move. Adam and Eve lived in harmony with the world around them. Adam, with his strong, sinewy form, moved with purpose through the garden, naming each creature and tending to the land. Eve, graceful and curious, explored Eden with wide-eyed wonder, her laughter like the sound of wind chimes. Both were untainted by sin, their hearts pure, their love for each other unshakable. Unbeknownst to them, a shadow lingered just beyond Eden's borders. Lucifer watched, biding his time, studying their routines and vulnerabilities. He loathed their innocence, their unbridled joy. They were everything he could never be again, and he intended to change that. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon and painted the sky in hues of gold and crimson, Lucifer made his move. Disguising himself as a serpent, his form slithered gracefully, his scales shimmering with an unnatural iridescence. He was both mesmerizing and unsettling, his very presence a contradiction, beautiful yet dangerous. From the shadows, he observed Eve as she wandered near the center of the garden. Her gaze lingered on the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, its fruit glistening like forbidden treasure. Lucifer's golden eyes narrowed as he noted her curiosity. It was a seed, small and fragile, but with the potential to grow into something monumental. "Why do you linger here, child of Eden?" The voice was soft, melodious, yet carried an undertone that made the hairs on Eve's neck stand on end. Startled, she turned to see the serpent coiled around a low branch of the forbidden tree. Its eyes glowed faintly in the dim light, its movements hypnotic. "Who speaks to me?" she asked, her voice tinged with both fear and curiosity. "A friend," the serpent replied, its lips curling into a semblance of a smile. "One who sees the longing in your heart." Eve frowned. "I long for nothing. The Lord has given us everything we need." The serpent tilted its head, its gaze piercing. "Everything? Yet you avoid this tree, as though it were a viper ready to strike. Does it not call to you? Does it not whisper of mysteries beyond your understanding?" Eve's eyes flickered to the fruit, and for a moment, doubt crept into her heart. Over the next days, the serpent returned, always careful, always patient. It spoke in riddles and half-truths, weaving a tapestry of lies designed to ensnare Eve's mind. He spoke of freedom, of hidden knowledge, of the power that lay just beyond her grasp. "Why would God deny you this?" he asked one evening, his voice low and soothing. "Why would he create something so beautiful, only to forbid it?" Eve's heart grew heavy with conflicting emotions. She had always trusted in the Lord's commands, but the serpent's words planted questions she could not easily dismiss. When Eve confided in Adam about her encounters with the serpent, his reaction was swift and stern. "We must not listen to such things," he said, his voice firm. "The Lord's command is clear. The serpent seeks to lead us astray." Eve nodded, but in her heart, the serpent's words lingered. Eve could not shake the serpent's words. They slithered through her thoughts, tangling with her own curiosity. Each day, the tree seemed to glow brighter, its forbidden fruit more alluring. And always, the serpent was there, whispering promises of enlightenment. To eat of this fruit is not death, the serpent crooned one evening as Eve stood near the tree. It is life eternal. It is wisdom unbounded. Why should God hoard such treasures for himself? Eve's brow furrowed. The Lord's ways are beyond us. His commands are just. The serpent's golden eyes gleamed. Or are they born of fear? Perhaps he knows that if you eat, you shall become as he is. No longer bound by his will, but free to shape your destiny. The words sank deep, wrapping around Eve's thoughts like vines. Adam sensed the change in Eve. Her laughter no longer came as easily, and she spent long hours wandering alone. He grew uneasy, his instincts warning him that something was amiss. One evening, he approached her as she stood by the river, gazing at her reflection. "Eve," he said gently, placing a hand on her shoulder. "What troubles you?" She hesitated, her fingers brushing a strand of hair from her face. "Do you ever wonder why the tree is forbidden?" Adam stiffened. "You must not think on such things. The Lord has given us everything. To question him is folly." Eve's gaze fell. "But if the fruit holds knowledge, could it not help us understand him better?" Adam's grip tightened slightly. "Do not let the serpent's words take root in your heart. He seeks only to deceive." Eve nodded, but doubt lingered in her eyes. That night, as Adam slept, Eve found herself drawn to the tree once more. The moon cast a silvery light over Eden, and the garden seemed unnaturally quiet. The serpent awaited her, coiled around a low branch, its eyes glowing faintly in the darkness. "You have come," it hissed, its voice a whisper that seemed to echo in her mind. "You seek the truth." Eve hesitated. "If I eat, what will happen?" The serpent smiled, a slow, chilling motion. "Your eyes will be open. You will see as the gods see, knowing good and evil. You will not die, but rise to a new understanding of existence." The fruit dangled before her, its skin shimmering like polished gold. Eve reached out, her fingers trembling. The moment her teeth pierced the fruit's flesh, a jolt coursed through Eve's body. It was as though fire and ice raced through her veins, unlocking something dormant within her. The world seemed sharper, more vivid, yet the weight of something intangible settled over her. She turned to find the serpent watching her intently. "Do you see now?" it asked. Eve's mind swirled with a flood of emotions, wonder, fear, and an unfamiliar sensation, guilt. "I must tell Adam," she whispered. The serpent's smile widened. "Yes, share the fruit, for only together can you grasp the fullness of its power." Eve found Adam near the edge of the garden, where he was tending to a grove of fig trees. She approached him, her steps unsteady, the fruit hidden behind her back. "Adam," she called softly. He turned, his face lighting up at the sight of her. "Eve, you've been gone long. I was worried." She hesitated, then revealed the fruit. "I have done what you warned against. I have eaten of the tree." Adam's expression darkened, his jaw tightening. "Why, you have defied the Lord." Tears welled in her eyes. "I was deceived, but the serpent spoke of truths I could not ignore. Please, Adam, take and eat. If we are to bear the consequences, let us do so together." Adam stared at the fruit, his heart warring within him. Finally, he took it from her trembling hands and bit into it. A strange, heavy silence fell over Eden. The change was immediate. Adam and Eve's eyes met, and for the first time, they saw each other not just with love, but with shame. Their nakedness, once a symbol of purity, now felt exposed and vulnerable. They hurried to cover themselves with fig leaves, their hearts pounding with the weight of their actions. In the distance, the sound of footsteps echoed through the garden. The Lord was walking in the cool of the evening. Fear gripped them, and they hid among the trees, their breaths shallow and panicked. Time stretched onward, and the children of Adam and Eve multiplied. Each generation carried the stain of the first sin, their hearts wrestling with the knowledge of good and evil. Villages turned into cities, and cities gave rise to empires. Yet the shadow of Eden loomed over all. Lucifer, emboldened by humanity's struggles, whispered his lies into the ears of kings and commoners alike. Pride, greed, and envy became the foundations of human societies. Yet, even in this darkness, a faint hope persisted, a flicker of memory from the garden, a yearning for redemption. In the fertile plains of Shinar, humanity sought to challenge the heavens. They built a tower that reached for the skies, their pride swelling with each stone laid. Lucifer watched with satisfaction. They seek to ascend without the Creator, he murmured, his golden eyes gleaming. Let their arrogance be their undoing. The Lord descended to see their work, and with a single decree, he scattered them. Languages were confounded, unity fractured, and the Tower of Babel stood as a monument to humanity's hubris. Lucifer's grin faltered. Even in their rebellion, humanity could not escape the Creator's reach. Amid the chaos, a man named Abram heard the voice of the Lord. Unlike others, he did not succumb to the serpent's whispers, but chose to trust the Creator. The Lord made a covenant with Abram, promising that through his descendants, all nations would be blessed. Lucifer raged at this. A plan to restore what I have broken, he snarled. I will ensure their failure. From that moment, Lucifer's efforts redoubled. He sowed discord within Abram's lineage, tempting them to betray their covenant. But the promise of redemption endured, a thread woven through the fabric of time. Generations later, the prophets arose, men and women chosen to call humanity back to the Creator. They spoke of justice, mercy, and the coming of a Savior. Their words pierced the hearts of some, but many turned away, their ears deafened by Lucifer's lies. There is no need for redemption, Lucifer whispered to the people. You are gods in your own right. Shape the world as you see fit. Despite his interference, the prophets' voices could not be silenced. Their words planted seeds of hope that would bloom in the fullness of time. Centuries passed, and the voices of the prophets grew quiet. Humanity entered a period of silence, waiting in the shadow of their struggles. Lucifer reveled in this quiet despair, believing he had won. Yet in the stillness, the Creator was at work. If this lesson has inspired and challenged you, we invite you to follow our YouTube channel. There, we share more stories and lessons designed to enhance your spiritual growth and deepen your relationship with Christ. Together, we can explore the truths of faith, learn from the wisdom of Scripture, and strengthen our resolve to walk in the Creator's light. Don't miss out on the opportunity to grow with us. Subscribe today and become part of a community dedicated to living in faith and love.